Fine. I suppose that is good enough. So, what do you do now? Well, if you didn't decide to pin everything on me, then we wouldn't be in this mess. Wait a minute. That reminds me. Beppy, in episode 4, didn't you try to hunt down and kill Phony? What? When did I do that? Easy. You did it. So, you did it. So you could try and kill Phony. But since you obviously failed because nighttime occurred right after, you decided to commit a different crime. Someone of a different identity. Playtime. So you're saying I killed her just because I made a joke about killing Phony last night? Why, that is precisely what I'm saying. Well, bad news for you. It is exactly how I said it. A joke. It was clearly a joke, and I meant nothing by it. Fine then, I suppose that would be adequate. Well, now what do we do? That can't be it, surely not. Wait a minute. I think I've got something. Really? What is it? If Amai was the first one to discover the body, and she heard a hit from around the corner before she saw Playtime's body, then it would have to be that one of the 5 people who have rooms near the kitchen had to have killed her. Those being Big Freddy, Cuphead, Mugman, Bonnie and Piglet. But these 5 people all have rooms near the kitchen where Playtime was killed. Well, if I'm being honest with you, I'm starting to get suspicious of Cuphead. What? Me? Why me? You hated Playtime, didn't you? She was constantly annoying you. Well, yeah, but that seems like motive enough, doesn't it? So here, everyone, let me explain what happened. I didn't do it. It all started at around 2 a.m. where Cuphead came out of his room. For what reason, we do not currently know. Shortly afterwards, Playtime came by, annoying him one final time with the stream of anger Cuphead killed Playtime in a fit of rage. He covered up his crime, trying to make it look like Paige had done it. But he didn't do a good enough job. Is that good enough for you? That's completely ridiculous. And how is it ridiculous, Cuphead? Well, Mike can back me up on this. Surely, if mine and Mugman's room was here, Bonnie's room was here, Big Freddy's room was here, and Piglet's room was here. Surely, if Playtime was walking past, she wouldn't have gone past me and Mugman's room, which is in the corner. She would have only gone past Bonnie's room as she went up, Big Freddy's room as she went across, and Piglet's room when she went further across. And what does that have to do with anything? It means that if I went out of my room to grab something from the kitchen, I would have gone straight to the kitchen and gone back. Though if Playtime went through that direction, she wouldn't have seen me. Meaning that I couldn't have done it. But if Bonnie went, then he would have been found. If Big Freddy went, he would have been seen. And same for Piglet. So that rules me out of the equation. Playtime would not have saw me if I came out of my room. Considering she has pretty bad eyesight, does that seem like a good enough reason to you? Fine then. But then, who really did do it? It would have to be the three I mentioned earlier. Big Freddy, Bonnie and Piglet. They were both in the vicinity of Playtime when Playtime was going along. Oh my, how loud was the bang? It was pretty loud, since I could hear it from a mile. I could hear it from a mile away. So that rules out Piglet, because he, not having arms, would not have been able to make a bang that loud. And what did the bang sound like? It sort of sounded like plastic hitting something. So that rules out Bonnie. Wait, what? How does it rule me out? Plastic hitting something. Maybe plastic like a tub of ice cream. What? But don't even start with it's not likely. Your talent is the ultimate strawberry ice cream addict. Obviously meaning that you're addicted to strawberry ice cream. And if you found a plastic tub of strawberry ice cream, then you could have made that bang and killed Playtime. Also, for another thing, you were significantly more annoyed towards Playtime than Cuphead was. So you would have a far stronger motive. care to tell me I'm wrong? What kind of reasoning is that? I didn't like her. That's not a good reason. And yet, it seemed to be the exact same reason why you were suspicious of Cuphead earlier. Plus, if playtime was going along there, then you would have had a longer chance of Bonnie. You would have had a bigger chance of meeting her than Bonnie did. Considering her route, she went across, up for only a tiny bit where she went past Bonnie's room, and across where she would have gone past yours and Piglet's room. And we already ruled out Piglet. So you would have a far bigger chance of encountering her than Bonnie would. You can't be accusing me of killing playtime. You can't. I think that without a doubt, you, Big Freddy, are the person who killed playtime. But before we wrap everything up, let's review the case. This all started last night at around 2 a.m. Playtime was going about her morning, walking around looking for someone to play. Amai walked past looking for baking supplies, though she managed to avoid playtime. As playtime walked past her, Amai obviously proceeded. Then she heard a loud bang. Which was the Blackened knocking her out with plastic. Meanwhile, Playtime was just going on her route, passing around the far bedrooms. This just so happened to be when the Blackened came out. Playtime saw them and annoyed them to death, literally. Which then the Blackened decided that they'd had enough, and they shoved the strawberry ice cream that they had over her head and knocked her out. Shortly, by tying her noose and tightening it extra tight, making 100% sure that she was dead. The killer decided to cover their tracks and got a pencil. They then stabbed Playtime in the neck, making it seem like that's how she died. They hid the pencil in the freezer because they didn't want to seem suspicious of covering someone up. And that's when the killer hung Playtime, creating the murder scene that was found. Amai was obviously the first person to discover it, making sure that when me and Mugman discovered it later, the body discovery announcement played, considering that 3 or more people found it.